Okay, today, class, we are going to look at repeated subtraction a little bit again and how it relates to division. We worked on that yesterday, and you guys did pretty good on that. Today, we're going to look at doing it on a number line also. So two different things that we're going to look at today. Repeated subtraction and going backwards on a number line. And then what that would look like as a division sentence. Okay? So at the very top, who wants to read where it says Serena and Mandy? Brandon?
Serena and Mandy got a total of 12 newspapers in school for recycling programs. Each girl got in one newspaper each day. So how many days did the girls bring in newspapers?
Okay, good. So how many girls are there?
12.
No, how many girls are there? Kelsey, you're doing the same thing you did in the warm-up. Think and look before you shout out an answer. Aaliyah? Two girls, Serena and Mandy. So we're having to split the 12 newspapers among two girls. How many newspapers?
12.
12. So we're starting with 12 newspapers. And they want to know how many newspapers did the two girls bring in each day? Well, how many did they bring in each day?
12.
Each day, the girl brought in one newspaper. So both of them together brought in how many each day? Two. Right? One girl brought one and the other girl brought one. So that's two each day. Okay, so what we're going to do is do 12 newspapers divided by the two newspapers they bring in each day to see how many days it's going to take them to bring in all the newspapers. Okay, so they've already set it up for us as a repeated subtraction problem. 12 minus 2 is how we start because we're doing 12 divided by 2. Bryson, make sure you're paying attention because you weren't here to hear this yesterday. 12 minus 2 is 10. So then that 10 goes up and we do 10 minus 2. 8. So then we bring the 8 up. 8 minus 2 is 6. So now the 6 goes up top. 6 minus 2 is 4. We bring the 4 up, and it's 4 minus 2.
2.
And then the 2 comes up, and 2 minus 2 is 0. So we have to keep subtracting 2's until we get to 0. We're pulling out 2 into equal groups until we have none left. We did that the first day when we were doing equal groups with our tiles, right? This is the same thing. So our answer would be what?
Our answer would be 6.
6, because we subtracted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Okay? So since we subtracted 2 6 times, we know there are 6 groups of 2 and 12. Okay? 6 groups of 2 and 12. So Serena and Mandy brought in newspapers for how many days? Bryson? 6 days. Good. Now down here they're just showing you how you can write 12 divided by 2 a different way. So we've just looked at this way, but now, you look right here, 12 divided by 2, the 12 goes inside the little box, 2 goes on the outside, and the answer goes on the top.
You can swap them around.
You can't flip-flop them around. These have to go in this order. Okay, so if it's 14 divided by 7, it would look like this. Draw your little box that's open on the bottom and on the side. 14 goes on the inside of it. Okay, so this is like saying divided by 14 divided by 7. Okay, and then on the top would be your answer every time. Okay, so we'll practice writing it this way a little bit today too. Okay, so another way we need to learn how to subtract is on a number line. When we're on a number line, instead of going forward now, we're going to go what?
Backwards.
Backwards, because we need to get smaller, not bigger. So to do it on a number line, we would start at 12. And then we're dividing by 2, so that means we're going to go backwards by 2s. So we would go 12, 11, 10, that's your first jump. 10 minus 2 would be 8, so we land at 8 for our second jump. 8 minus 2, 6, so we land at 6. We have to keep going though until we get to the end. 6 minus 2 is 4. Okay, 4 minus 2?
2.
Good, and 2 minus 2? 0. So now for our answer, we would count our jumps. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. There are 6 jumps of 2 in 12. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. Okay, let's skip down to number 1. Draw the rest of the jumps on the number line to complete the division equation. Okay, I'm going to let you guys try that one on your own. So it's already started for you. It starts at 12 and goes backwards to 8. Why did it go to 8? Bryson?
Because we're counting back 4 times.
Good. It goes backward to 8 because we're going to subtract 4 basically each time.
3 drops.
Because we're dividing by 4. Okay? So try this one on your own. Very good, Brandon.
3 jumps.
Good. Jump back by 4 because we're dividing by 4.
I don't know. Ms. Volker, you can do number 2 and 3.
Jump back by 4 because we're subtracting 4 and dividing by 4. Okay, so 12, and they already gave us the first one. We land at 8. And I need to go back by 4 every time. Okay, so if I'm at 8 and I need to go back 4, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So I should land at 4 for our second jump. Okay, and then 4 minus 4 would be 0. 3 jumps, so my answer or my quotient would be 3. Okay. Okay, now for repeated subtraction, they want us to write the division equation this time. So let's look back. You don't have to turn your page, just look at mine. So when my equation was 12 divided by 2, we started with 12 minus 2. So if my problem starts with 10 minus 5, my division equation should be what?
10 minus 5 equals 5.
Not 10 minus 5, 10 divided by 5.
10 divided by 5.
Okay, so whatever this first problem is, that becomes your division sentence. Okay, now how would I figure out my answer? Okay, so how am I going to get my answer for my division equation? Count both of these? Yes, very good. So I subtracted once, twice. So my answer would be 2.
I knew it was 2.
Okay, let's look at number 3. I want you to try this one on your own too. You need to look at the hops, what they're starting at, and what they're skipping by to write your division equation. Okay? So if I look back to this one, it was 12 divided by 4, so they start at 12 and they go back by 4. So for here, I need to look at what they're starting at and what they go back by. It's 8. So 8 is my dividend.
8 divided by 2.
And I'm dividing by 2. And how did we get that? Kelsey?
Because you could look at the end or the first or the beginning. It shows 0, 2.
Okay, so you looked down here and you said 0, 2, so it jumped by 2s. Okay, so we can do 8 divided by 2. For our answer, we need to count the hops, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for number 4, it says we need to use, I'll put this down. We need to use this graph over here for number 4. Matt puts his box tops in 2 equal piles. How many box tops are in each pile? Okay, so we need to look at the box top collections over here and find who? Matt. So we're looking at Matt. Okay, so we go and we look at Matt, and how many box tops has he collected? 10 right here. So we follow the bar over and it's at 10. Okay, so if he has 10 and we're wanting to put them into 2 equal piles, what does that mean we're doing? Bryson? Dividing by 2. Okay, so which one do we want to use? Repeated subtraction? Okay, so we're going to start with 10 and do what?
10, we're going to do repeated subtraction. 10 divided by 2.
10 minus 2 is what? 8.
Carry the 8.
Carry the 8. 8 minus 2?
6.
6 minus 2?
4.
4 minus 2?
2. 2 divided by 2 equals 0.
And 2 minus 2 equals 0. So now we can stop. Does that make sense, Bryson? Because I know you weren't here yesterday. Does this repeated subtraction make sense? So if our division equation is 10 divided by 2, we start with 10 minus 2. And then we keep subtracting 2's until we get to 0. Okay? Now to get our answer, we count how many times we have subtracted. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Tavea? We are counting by 2's. Good. So we could have skipped counted. But today we're just repeated subtraction and number lines.
Can I read the next one?
I know. It's not my favorite strategy, but what have we said about some of these strategies? You may not use them to figure out a problem, but we have to know what they look like. If it's an answer choice on a word problem, you have to be able to know what it mm-hmm. Okay, no, we're going to flip the page. So this is what we're going to do. Normally when we get to these back pages, we try to do these on our own, and then we're going to go over them together. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to work these out on your own, and then we will come back and check our answers together. Okay, number 8. We had a couple tricky ones on here, didn't we?
Yes.
So number 8, let's read very carefully. Kelsey, can you read it for me?
Mm-hmm. There are 16 dolphins in a pod. Each pod has the same number of males and females. The female dolphins are swimming in pairs. How many pairs of female dolphins are there?
Okay. So you have to really pay attention here because it said how many pairs of female dolphins. We don't need to know all the dolphins, just the females. Okay? So if there's 16 dolphins in all, and you have the same number of males and females to equal all 16, what number would you have to have of the males and females to equal 16?
6.
Bryson?
16.
How many males and females would equal 16? And they have to be the same number. You forgot? Aaliyah?
8 plus 8.
Good. 8 plus 8. So I would have 8 males, 8 females. That's step 1. But now all we need to look at is the females. Okay? Step 2. The female dolphins are swimming in pairs. How much is a pair?
A pair?
Kaylee, how much is a pair?
2.
2. So now you need to take the females and do what with them? Bryson? Make groups of 2 or divide it by 2? Yes, good. So we're doing 8 divided by 2. So if we're going to do the strategies we've learned today, I saw Brandon over here. This is what he did. He was counting in his head, and he went 8, 6, 4. What would come next?
4,
2,
0.
0. He was doing the hops until he got to 0, and then he said, okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 hops. So his answer was 4. Okay. He didn't have to have the number line there. He was able to still count the hops by counting in his head. So 4 would be correct. Okay. Number 9, which division equation is shown? Which division equation is shown? What do you think, Kelsey?
I think 18 divided by, is it one of these numbers? 18 divided by 6?
18 divided by 6 equals 3. Okay, well, let's see. I can automatically eliminate which one?
You can eliminate A.
C, right? Because it's not doing division, it's doing multiplication.
Yes.
Now, A, B, and D all start with 18 as your dividend, so that part's good. Let's look at your divisor. We have 2, 9, and 6. Okay, well, your divisor comes from how many you go backwards?
1.
We go back by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? So our divisor wouldn't be 2 or 9, it would be 6. You also could have looked at the answer. The answer is how many times that we hop, right? So that's 1, 2, 3 hops. Right? It's important that you know that because when you get over here, you are going to have to write the division sentence that goes with the number line. Okay? The answer is how many hops you make. The dividend is this where you start, the biggest number. Divisor is what you skip by. Okay? Number 10, another tricky one. But I saw some good strategies on people's paper on how to work this one out. Evangeline, what'd you get for your answer?
I got 30 grapes and I took 7 away and kept 5, 9,
And your answer was?
D.
You got D? Okay. Anybody else get something different? Savannah, what'd you get?
I got A.
You got A, 3? Okay, let's see. So I did like how Evangeline, she drew out the 30 grapes, because if I'm stuck, you know, I can just sit here and draw out the grapes and start doing what it's talking about. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, so there's the 30 grapes. He keeps 9 grapes for himself. So what can I do with my picture now? If I'm keeping 9, I need to do what with those 9? Allie?
Take away the 9.
Take away the 9. So I'm crossing out 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so if he's keeping 9, we take that away. So how many grapes does he have left?
He has.
It's 21. We can sit here and count all of these. It's 21. Then he gives 7 grapes to each of his friends. So now what could I do with my picture? What type of problem is this now? Kaylee? It is multi-step, but now what am I doing with the 21 grapes and the 7 grapes that he's giving to his friends?
You're repeating subtraction.
You can do repeated subtraction. Okay. What can I do with the picture now? Evangeline?
You're taking away 7.
Groups of 7 each time? Okay, I can do groups of 7 each time, taking them away. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm out of grapes. How many groups did I make? 3. So he can only give 7 grapes to 3 friends.
Can I read number 11?
Okay, so A was correct.
Can I read it?
Okay, last one. Kelsey, go ahead and read it.
Renee has 18 photos. She wants to put the same number of photos on each of the 6 pages in her photo album. How many photos will be on each page?
Okay, so we're starting with the total amount of photos, which is 18. She wants to put the same number on 6 pages. So what are you doing here? What type of problem? Kaylee? I have 18 photos and I want to put the same number on 6 pages. So am I splitting them up into 6 groups of 6? Okay, so that's division, right? So what could I do to solve?
I drew 3 pages and then I counted until I drew little circles until I ran out. 18.
Okay, you drew little circles until you ran out. Good. Anybody do something different? Kelsey?
I did repeated subtraction.
Repeated subtraction. Okay, so let's practice that since you're about to have to do it for your assignment. 18 minus 6. Since I'm doing 18 divided by 6.
It's 12.
12. Bryson, what do I do next?
You put 8 times 12 minus 6.
Good. Can I stop here?
No.
Nope, we go to 0. So now my next problem is what?
12 minus 6.
Good. 6 minus 6 is 0. Now I look at how many times I subtracted. There's 1, 2, 3.
Second is your answer.
B is correct. Okay. Now you are going to complete page 329 through 330 on your own. It's exactly like what we just went over in class. So if you want to keep out your notes that we just did together, you can use your notes. But this can be torn out. So if you're going to tear this out, you need to hold your book down and pull a little bit at a time so you don't rip the whole paper. Okay, because you're going to turn this in. Okay? But you can leave your book open to look at your notes.